Hello guys, so in this video I'm gonna tell you a story, and this story's name is The Ultimate Battle. These guys, you can tell it to your kids or you can read it as well. It is a very good story according to me. So let's start the reading, and let's start. Then why wait? So let's go to The Ultimate Battle named. So we are coming for the backstory of Nolan. So now you will know who is Nolan, as I will keep on reading. So the backstory of Nolan. Nolan, a boy of 26 years who lives in the New York City, has some extraordinary powers. He can read a person's mind. A group of scientists have analyzed and experimented on him, and after a lot of experiments and analysis, they have concluded that this is because of an out of the gene mutation that altered in his DNA sequence, rendering his capability of reading minds. But it is although a hypothesis and is still debated. This is why Nolan dedicated his life to make the society a better place by employing the federal government for specialized interrogation of criminals whom normal investigators cannot crack. Main story. One morning, Nolan's boss, David, the commissioner of New York, called him to headquarters to discuss about a serious case. What happened, sir? Why you called me now? Nolan asked. Since the last 1 month, a new criminal has emerged, one like no other. He is smart, intelligent, and very sly. We had not been able to catch him, David answered. What has he done? Nolan asked thoughtfully. What has he done, you should ask, David said. To begin with the to begin with the emptied the cash vault at the State General Bank. He did it so slyly that the bank was not aware of the theft until late in the day they went to add money in the vault. Next, he had stolen the infamous Michael Lawrence painting from an event that had 100 attendants. How did he how do he do it? How did he do it? No one knows. So we are calling him the chameleon. But unfortunately, a child in the Michael Lawrence event has seen a person looking like a thief jumping from the balcony. We had taken his help and made a sketch, but we had put articles in every newspaper with the sketch, and there are written that no one can give the trace of the person will get $1 million. Interesting, Nolan said. But Nolan, you have to interrogate that person when you will get him, as you are the best for that work, David said. Okay, sir, I will, Nolan said. After a few days, David called Nolan again to the headquarters. Nolan, we have caught the chameleon. Now you have to interrogate him and you will try to know where he had get the stolen things, David said. Okay, sir, I will, Nolan said. Nolan entered the interrogation room. What's your name, mister? Nolan said. I'm Frank Palmer, and I don't know. That's okay. This must not take much time. Where are the stolen things? I don't know where it is, okay? Frank said. Nolan interrogated Frank for some hours, but he was not been able to read Frank's mind about the thefts. Nolan was shocked for the first time in his life. There was a person whose mind he couldn't read. Impossible, Nolan said. What happened? Frank said. Nothing. Thank you for your time, Nolan said, and he left the room. As astonished, Nolan went to David and told him the full thing. David was also very shocked. Nolan assumed that the child may have seen a wrong person who is not the chameleon, and police also have termed him as chameleon without thinking twice, or made a sketch artist has drawn a wrong sketch. Anything might be possible. So at last, police had to release Frank as they don't have much evidence that he is a chameleon other than the sketch. David instructed Nolan to keep a good eye on Frank. As Frank came out from the police, Nolan started following him. He saw that Frank at first gone to his house and came out of the house with a bag. After some time, he went inside an old age home and after 1 hour left from there. Nolan then went inside the old age home and asked the lady that the person who just came here, does his parents live here? The lady answered that he is Mr. Frank Palmer and he always comes here for paying a huge donation every month. This time he also came for the same purpose. Nolan decided to follow Frank more. Over the days, Nolan came to know that Frank's mother and father died when he was too small, so he spends his child life in an orphanage. So it denotes too many orphan age and old age home. Frank helps those who are poor and needy even more than the government. But the question is that from where he gets so much money as he works in a laundry and his salary is too small, so how he donates too much. Nolan now became more confirmed that Frank is the chameleon. Nolan thought it's the time to get at the bottom of the matter, so he decided to meet Frank again. He went to a cafe to meet him. Hello, Frank, Nolan said. What I have done now, Frank said. Cut the act. I know you are the chameleon, but why can't I read your mind? Nolan said. I don't know what are you telling, okay, Frank said. Oh really? So how do you donate too much money? Nolan asked. I can't tell you that. That's my personal matter, Frank answered. You have no choice, Frank, other than saying the truth. We have evidence about your donations. Trust me, you will go inside for a long time. If you speak the truth, I can help you to get a reduced sentence, Nolan said. Fine. I'm saying the owner of the laundry in which I work is a scientist. He pays me a large amount of money in doing experiments on my mind, and the scientist's name is Optimum. That's all, Frank said. I have already read your mind before you started saying the truth. I forced you to say the truth to hear it fully from your mouth, and I have recorded it in my mobile as an evidence. As an evidence. Thank you, Frank, for being honest, Nolan said, and he left from there. Nolan soon reached the headquarters and paid the recording there. David heard the recording and instructed Nolan to go to the laundry as fast as possible where Frank was, as Frank may have gone there now for experiments. David and Nolan with the whole police force went towards the laundry. On the other hand, Frank reached the lab, which is in the basement of the laundry, where Optimum was waiting for him. "You're late today, Frank," Optimum said. "Sir, I am late today because a boy who is a police was interrogating me in the cafe," Frank said. "Have you said anything to them about our secret?" Optimum asked. "Sir, he was forcing me to say the truth, and he was threatening me to get a sentence at prison. I didn't say the truth, so at last I have said him the truth, and he recorded it in his phone. I got a relief from them." "What? You fool! Why do you tell our secrets to them?" Optimum said. Optimum soon went towards the cupboard and took out a bottle from there. There was a liquid type substance in the bottle and Optimum drank it fully. But within few seconds, the door banged open and Nolan with the whole police force came inside. "Carrying out experiments without permission is illegal," David asked. "It's fully harmless," Optimum answered. Nolan read his mind. David instructed Nolan started reading Optimum's mind. And after fully reading his mind, Nolan was shocked. "Unbelievable," Nolan said. "What did you find in his mind?" David asked. "Sir, a big crime was going on through Frank, and Frank was also not aware of it," Nolan said. In the excuse of doing experiments on his mind, he makes Frank unconscious and then the scientist hypnotizes Frank and enhances his senses, intelligence, and strength. And then the scientist sends Frank for heists, and when he comes back, Optimum at first keep the stolen things in his secret cupboard, and then he do hypnotizes him and the events and works wipe out from his mind which he had done. That's why I cannot read his mind about the heist. And Optimum was escaping from here with the stolen things after getting the news. The Frank has told everything to us, but we reached here at the correct time. Everyone was shocked and can't believe anything, but suddenly Optimum pressed a button in his watch, and within few seconds, a harmful gas started spreading in the lab through a pipe, and every officer in the lab started being senseless. But it doesn't affect Optimum as he has already taken the antidote of the gas, which is the liquid he had drank. One by one, every officer became senseless, and within a short period of time, everyone became senseless, including Nolan, David, and Frank. Optimus now got a chance to escape. He opened his cupboard again and took out a time bomb from there. He switched on the timer and left from there. Few minutes later, the gas influence started being reduced, and Nolan slowly opened his eyes at first. He saw that every officer was senseless till then, and there was only 20 seconds left for the time bomb to blast. Without wasting a second, Nolan took the time bomb in his hand and opened the windows and thrown the time bomb on a nearby tree. Within a few seconds, the time bomb blasted and the tree also blasted. Nolan saved his whole team from the incoming accident, but it was too late and Optimum had escaped far away. Afterwards, police had found the stolen things in a secret locker of Optimum in the lab. 2 months had passed away, and Nolan, David, and their police team were not being able to catch Optimum. Frank was found innocent in this case, so he was released by police. Prize money of $5 million was put on Optimum. On the other hand, an incident happened in the New York City. People of the city started going missing for a few days. Every night, people woke up from their sleep and went outside the houses. Whoever tried to stop them were either killed or wounded. Nearly 50 people of the city were missing, but the question was who is the main culprit behind this missing? Is it Optimum or anybody else? Nolan has to solve this before the situation goes out of control. Police checked every person's bank account, call history, messages, and etc. Those who are missing. They also checked everyone's mobile lost location, but it was found in the highway in every cases. Nolan himself interrogated every family member of the people who were missing, and at last, fortunately, Nolan found a coincidence in every case. He learned that every person who was missing had once gone to the Bonnier supermarket, which was open on the same day on which people started going missing. Without wasting any Nolan rushed into the Bonnier supermarket and arrested everyone in the market. He sealed the market and admitted everyone in the market to the hospital. Nolan went to the interrogation room and interrogated every worker of the supermarket. He found nothing in their minds. At last, Nolan came to interrogate the market's most senior manager. My name is Cyrus, the manager said. I am the right hand of Optimum, and my boss will come to rescue me, and you will not be able to do anything. You are just useless. Now Nolan started reading Cyrus' mind. He came to know that Optimum had made a master plan. He had made a new chemical which can hypnotize a person, but it will only work when they will sleep, and after taking this chemical, the person should sleep within 4 hours, then it will work. So Optimum set up a supermarket, making his right hand Cyrus the manager. Cyrus mixes the chemical in a juice and offers it to everyone whoever comes to the market at night. Whoever consumes the drink becomes hypnotized. In this way, the people of the city are going missing. Before Nolan could read more, one wall of the interrogation room broke in, and Optimum entered inside with his army. Their house. Cyrus was also one of the missing people. Now, Nolan understood the whole thing, that Optimum had hypnotized everyone. He tried to stop them, but Optimum spread the gas in the room and Nolan started feeling drowsy and slowly slept, but the gas doesn't affect Optimum. Cyrus and the army, as they already taken the antidote of the gas. Optimum, Cyrus and the army safely escaped from there in helicopter. They put a time bomb in the interrogation room. So that's it, guys, for our part 1. Yes. So this is our part 1. So to get the part 2 of this video, all you need to do is just help me up with 25 likes in this video and help me reach 25 subscribers round, and after that I will surely uh, produce the part 2. So thanks for watching, and if you like the video, please comment it